Okay, so it's gonna be a pretty simple presentation, but it should be kind of fun, hopefully. All right,
Mm.
cool. So welcome to DevLUp. A lot of new faces, which is awesome. Great to have you guys. Um, and let's just do a quick intro. So impromptu. Let's see.
Mhm.
All right, cool. So for our agenda, this is not helpful, is it? Like this. How do I
Maybe just move it all the way to the top. I think it hides it.
hide? Oh, I see. I do. Did not hide it.
Sorry, I guess I was lying.
So hide video panel.
Oh,
Hide. Flip.
nice.
There you go.
Nice.
So escape control. Okay, sweet. All right. So in terms of agenda, what we're gonna do is do a short welcome with some of the officers. And it's just gonna be like hi, pretty much.
All right.
Like, I want to do a just some fun what is a game with you guys because I was not sure who was gonna show up, so we'll see. Um, and we're gonna go a little bit into how to make a game and how to enter the field, but uh, we'll hit it while we go. Cool. So, welcome to Develop. Our goal is to bring game developers together, which is why you're all here, hopefully. So we could just talk and chat, share ideas. And we also want to teach students how to get into the game development industry a little bit. Just people who I'm not sure what year you guys are. Are you guys freshmen, senior, sophomore,
Fourth year.
fourth year,
Fourth year.
fourth year, freshman? Okay, freshman.
Actually, a grad student.
Fourth year, grad student.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Punk status.
Third year. Okay, yeah. So I think we're all a bit.
Some unks here.
For sure.
So freshman though. But I guess like you seem familiar enough to be able to enter GMTK and everything. So yeah. So we're not working with any newbies, which is cool. So in terms of the officers, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
I'm William.
Sandra.
Yep.
Hot Ethan.
Right.
Sweet.
Mm.
That lines up.
Why did I do this? This is fine.
It's okay. Look, it's fine. Sweet. And as for our general schedule, which is going to be having short meetings, I scheduled this room for the Sunday, and I'm going to reserve it every week. So I guess the question is, do you guys want to reserve it on another week, or on another day of the week? We were going to discuss them on officers, but I just want to know any overall. Do you prefer? Does a Sunday sort of work as like a general like foot day? That's pretty chill. Yeah, because any of the other day, I feel like it overlaps with other clubs and stuff.
Is that every week or every other week?
We'll probably do every week just a meetup, but the presentations I'm gonna keep pretty short, or I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna be like meet up, hang out sort of thing. I think that's overall better because I don't know how much I have to teach you guys. You guys seem pretty cracked anyways. So, yeah, and then we're gonna use time after we have this room reserved for 2 hours ish. So, uh, nice. So we'll be good. Sweet. So, what is a game? Anyone want to tell me? How would you describe a game?
Mm.
Define it. Well, what do we know? Well, what games do you know? Like Balatro?
Fortnite.
Sure.
Fortnite? Yeah, Fortnite? Yes.
That's true.
Fortnite? What makes Fortnite a game?
So it's a program that runs on a computer.
Yeah.
You can like use an input device to control what happens inside of it.
Yes.
There's a set of rules you have to follow.
Yes, that's true.
There's
Interactive
microtransactions.
Microtransactions are very important. Microtransactions are very, very important.
There's usually like a challenge to like make it like fun for the player.
Yes, the challenge to make it fun for the player.
It's interactive.
It
It's an
gives
experience.
intrinsically motivating, arbitrarily constructed challenge.
Intrinsically motivating, arbitrarily constructed challenge.
That's pretty general, but
That's pretty general, but it does cover a lot. It does cover a
I
lot.
agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Intrinsically motivating. How would you make a game intrinsically motivating?
By making it do things that you find fun and intrinsically motivating, like, for example, solving the puzzle or pretend shooting people in Fortnite.
Pretend shooting people. Okay, okay. So I guess shooting people in Fortnite is fun. Can we agree? Can we agree? Okay, sweet. Yeah. So let's start with this. So let's start with the classic. A game is a series of interesting choices. By Sid Meier. This is one of the quotes. In a sense, we have Civilization. Have you guys played Civilization? You all familiar? A little bit? No?
Somewhat.
Little bit?
I haven't played it.
No, it's a good game. So it's kind of like board game style. You know, you have units and you can act with them. So you could create a city, and then the city grows, and each turn it grows based on the tiles around it. So it's like it pulls in resources from the tiles, and it grows the city, and you can build stuff in that city to make it grow faster. Produce units to destroy other nations, pretty much, right? And destroy other cities. So that's the general idea. And I guess the question is this a true statement? Like, is there any game that or is Fortnite? Does Fortnite fall into fall into this category?
I think so.
Do you choose?
Maybe like
Yeah,
choosing to
Games
loot
that
or
don't fall
attack.
into this.
choosing to lose or to attack. What's up?
Are there any games that don't fall into this?
Yes, that's sort of the
So,
question.
I think that's a more interesting.
Yes, 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 yes,
Because I can think of a lot that fit this example.
yes. Well, like for Fortnite, I guess like the immediate choice is do I shoot this person or do I not? Right? Like, what's up?
Google dinosaur game. Is that a series of interesting choices?
You have the choice to jump or
Yeah.
That's the question.
Win or lose.
That's the thing. That's the definition, right? Because is it a choice of that will change the outcome, right? If I press the jump button at a different time, will I die? Will I lose, right? And like I think part of this was like, what's the best example for me?
I think
Like,
the
oh,
choice is like when to press the space.
when to press it, exactly.
Whether.
Exactly. It's not whether do I press it or not. No, I have to press it. If I want to win, I have to press it. It's just when, right? And I think rhythm games sort of fall into this category too, because you're already playing it, you're trying to do it, but you see something pop up. Now you just gotta
But like,
press
is
it.
it rather like a
Right.
skill or rather like a
Exactly. Exactly. It's not a direct choice. It's not everything's a story, right? Like it's do I press it now or do I press it later? It's kind of it's a skill, right? And so it's interesting to think like a game is rather broad, right? As a definition, right? So yeah, let's test it. Uh, rock, paper, scissors?
That's interesting choices for sure.
Yeah, I mean, interesting choices. So let's see. Is rock, paper, scissors a game?
Yeah.
By this definition.
Yeah.
yes,
for sure.
Does the player have a choice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What choice?
rock, paper, scissors.
Yes, you choose one of them, right? Okay. Why is it a choice?
Which one you choose won't affect the outcome of the game.
And you don't know what the other player is going to do. So you have to decide, you have to think what they're going to do
Right.
and act on it.
Right. Okay. Well, I think the most simpler answer is I can only choose one of them, right? And one of them will give me a good outcome, one of them will give me a bad outcome, right? Like if I choose rock and you choose paper, then I'm dead, right? Is this an interesting choice?
Yes.
Yes.
Especially when played in person.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. If you weren't playing it in person, is this an interesting choice? If you were playing it on the online medium with against like a robot, it would be an interesting choice.
No.
I think slightly, just because you don't know what the outcome will be.
I think the fact that the choice you make impacts the outcome of the game or
Yes.
how the game proceeds make
Yeah.
it interesting.
So you
It's a
think
bit of, like,
the
a
fact
mind
that
game, so
Yeah.
fit.
what's up?
There's a bit of like mind games with it, but like with a robot, if it's complete like one out of three, then
Yeah,
probably not really interesting because every single choice is still 1/3 chance to win. Exactly.
yeah,
No, like history of choices to go off of.
If you're playing against, suppose you're playing against a computer that has a perfect 1/3 chance of picking any of the three, then in that case,
Yeah.
no matter what you choose, there's always a 1/3 probability that it'll end up
Exactly.
being correct, which means I would say that makes it no longer interesting because your choice actually has no impact on anything. Because no matter what you choose, it's a 1/3 chance.
right. So it's a matter of the choice you do choose does matter, but when you actually make the choice, it doesn't matter,
The fact,
right?
the fact
Because
that
it
have
doesn't
a
matter
choice
which one you
is
choose because you don't know what the opponent's going to choose.
So
But the outcome does matter, right?
I think the fact that you having a choice doesn't impact your chances means it's no longer an interesting choice.
Okay.
Yeah, you can choose arbitrarily one out of the three choices against the computer and still have like same exact 1/3 chance to win.
I think once you get to the computer, I think it becomes a bit closer to gambling than it is actually like playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Right. And so I guess the question is, what's interesting, right? Like, it's an interesting choice. Oh.
If you look at gacha or anything, that's kind of the same thing, but people find that interesting anyway.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
the question subjective?
Yes, that's the point. The point is that whatever how you define interesting defines it's an interesting question or not, right?
In that case, you
So what's
you
useful?
have the choice of whether to take the
Yeah,
gamble
whether,
or not.
yes, gotcha,
Mhm.
yeah.
I argue it's more interesting because it's not just random chance. You're also studying the opponent. You're trying to predict what they're gonna pick.
I don't know what he said a second ago. Great. I was gonna say something and then it just completely fell off. You said something about gambling a second ago. Someone said
You have
something
a
about
choice to
gambling.
whether risk something or not.
Yes. The problem with that is that if it's just a game of rock, paper, scissors, it doesn't really mean anything, like whether or not you win or lose.
Yeah,
'cause
whether you like
that's-
put any stakes on it.
And there's like no.
That's what he said, it's like arbitrary, like
Yeah.
when you're playing rock, paper, scissors, you're under the assumption that you would like to win.
Mhm. That
Like,
happens a
that's the
lot.
premise.
There's a lot of games that work under the assumption that you want to win, right? Which is really interesting. Like it makes me think like is the choice interesting if suddenly I'm risking $1 billion on it? Like it doesn't make the choice inherently more interesting, or is it still the same game?
What makes it interesting? I think.
I feel like it doesn't necessarily inherently make it more interesting.
Well,
It
say,
can change how you play the game though.
It could change how you play the game. That's actually pretty.
Well, say he comes up to me, gives me a computer with a rock, paper, scissors bot, right? It's like, if you beat this bot, I'll give you $1 million. Then the choice I make does become more interesting, I would say.
Since you still have a 1/3 chance, then
Mhm.
I don't think it gets any more interesting. I could pick any of the three and have just as good.
The
a chance.
choices may not be interesting, but the game is interesting still.
Well,
But we're talking about interesting choices.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in the context of that's what makes a game, right?
Yes. And I'm just wondering what I think it's an interesting discussion of like what is interesting, right? So
Game to be playing against 1/3 chance bot, regardless of what the stakes are.
Well, maybe you wouldn't see it as a game, but some people could. I think.
Yeah, you can wrap it.
yeah, I would argue it's more tense at least. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, do I win $1 million?
doesn't necessarily mean fun. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
I think some people, I think the whole thing was a game that's so, sorry to interrupt you by the way, but there's so many different people have different tastes with everything. Like some people like tense games. That, like,
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, does it matter which we choose? And the answer is like, they're all like equal in some sense, right? One's gonna win. Like one will win, one will draw, one will lose. It does matter which one we do choose, but doesn't change how we actually choose, right? And from there, while playing rock paper scissors, do you care about winning at all, right? Like if you don't care about winning, then you could choose anyone, right? That sort of makes sense. There doesn't seem to be inherent reward. And I think what's interesting is that it's a maybe. Some people actually do just naturally care about winning, right? And like, but we don't provide anything for that, right? To like let someone come to that own conclusion, right? So I guess let's play, right? If I win, I will stop this presentation. I will straight. I didn't spend that much time on this presentation, so I will stop it. I do have more.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone want to play?
Sure.
Okay.
That's it. 1 or 3?
We'll
This
do
is making it more
rock,
interesting.
paper, scissors, shoe, and on shoe, like
Okay, sure.
rock, paper, scissors, shoe.
Oh.
best of three, best of three.
All right, best of three. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoe. Okay,
Lock in, like,
rock, paper, scissors, shoe.
Oh,
Oh, damn it! Okay, shit.
I guess it's a song.
Oh no. Anyone else want to play?
No more.
What's up?
Oh, wait, it's if he wins, he stops presentation?
Yeah, look, I want to stop. I want to stop the presentation.
Oh, that's best of one, best of one, best of one.
So no, all right, we're done. We're good. No. All right, but the idea is that yeah, I want to stop presentation because I don't want the stress, right? Like, but if you guys enjoyed this presentation so far, then you probably want to keep it going, right?
No, it's great. I think a lot of us are pretty familiar though with gaming, like games in general already, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think it's still fun to talk about though.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we're here, right? So I guess the question is, do you want to win now, right? And it's a matter of like, well, there is a reward, or I mean, the reward is depending on how you define it, right? Do you want me to stop or do you want me to keep going, right? Well, in that case, I mean, losing might actually be the right choice if you do want me to stop, but
Right.
so which is really interesting. So it depends on what you like this presentation.
Mhm.
Extra dot. So what now? Should the loser have chosen to win? No, what should the loser have chosen to win? So I guess on our first match, I chose paper, or I
Chose scissors.
yeah, I chose scissors,
Mhm.
and you chose paper, which so I won. So what should you have chosen to win?
Rock.
Rock, right? Okay.
Yep.
So well, something else, right? Like you did not the choice you made, right?
Yeah,
Um, so how would you have known to choose rock instead?
I wouldn't have. At least on the first go, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
On the second
The
one,
second one,
I
maybe,
can
right?
try and think of what your next move will be.
Right. Strictly by the game rules, you couldn't. They're all pretty much equal, right?
Right.
Like, unless you have some other information, right? So I'm gonna choose rock.
Mhm.
I'm gonna choose rock.
Uh-huh.
You feel?
Yep.
Does that change anything?
I think it does. I think it does.
Okay.
I'll run one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I believed you.
You believe it? All right. Well, that's some information. Okay, now you have some calculations to make. Is it more likely to choose rock or not? Right?
Mhm.
Do you trust me or not? Right?
Right.
And I mean, if you the soccer actually just made a straight game on this. Like he literally has like a bug fighting game where it's rock paper scissors, and the bugs have a stronger, like one of them is stronger. Right, one of them like rock is always better for this bug, so he's more likely to choose rock. Right, so just extra information can add some things.
Mhm.
And it's also pretty meta to choose rock, right? In this case, like, oh, I should always choose rock because that's the most common, like that's how that's the one people typically choose, right?
Mhm.
Like it's just socially, like if you have played enough rock paper scissors, you'll get general meta of like, oh, let's choose rock. It's kind of like superstition almost.
Mhm.
And I guess how about now, right? It's just more information. Now you can make better choices, right? But if we never play rock paper scissors again, doesn't matter, does it?
Yep.
Right. So on its own, a choice isn't interesting, right? I would argue. But when there's information suggesting one choice may be better than another, our brains kick in, right? We look for patterns and information to help us succeed at a goal we do care about, right? Um, so overall, so is this a game?
I think so.
Yeah.
We all agree with the game? If we played one round, is it a game? By the definition that we were given. A series of interesting choices.
Because there's just one choice.
Yeah, with no strategy.
One choice, right? There's one choice. So by definition, it's a series. Like at least by that definition, I'm not saying this is the definition. I'm saying this is just a definition, right? So let's play it again, which we did. And you know what I chose from last time as well. So I'm going to choose something similar or different, right?
Right.
So which is interesting.
It
Cool.
was
So
scissors, paper, rock, paper in the first two rounds, right? Remember what
I forgot already. It's fine. You get the idea.
I did
I was
paper and then paper again.
Yeah.
And so I anticipated that you would think I would go paper again. And that's when I went rock.
Oh, that's when he switched
Yeah,
it up.
that was my strategy.
Brutal. I'm devastated. I'm too focused on presentation to think about this. I'm sorry. So brain fried. So anyways, this game kind of sucks. Why don't we play rock paper scissors as our only game? Why do we play other games?
There's only a limited amount of outcomes, and it's boring.
That's definitely one.
I think it's stimulating in different kinds of ways, like with different objectives.
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
rewards.
yeah, different rewards, different objectives. Okay, different goals.
There's not much depth to it, I would say.
How much depth? Yeah, that's kind of the outcome
I'd
probably.
say it only like activates like one part of the brain.
That's true.
I don't have friends to play rock, paper, scissors with.
That's true. That's true. You can play against online though if you wanted
You
to.
also got two hands.
It's like yeah. You got two hands, guys. You got two hands.
I'm not sure what to do.
2 out of 3.
That's 2 out of 3.
It's not 2 out of 3. It's 6.
What's up?
Okay, so you know how there's been some cases where people with like seizure issues have had to have the two halves of their brain
corpus
stuck
callosum.
together?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so then their hands are actually being controlled independently. You think they could make that?
It's like fun. It's like Jorma slapping himself. It's okay. Anyways, so why don't we play this all the time, right? So first of all, the action kind of sucks. Like we just like, all right, eh. I would argue Fortnite shooting is more fun. Like generally. Maybe? I don't know. Like I could just like bang. Bang, bang. All right. But I'd argue like there's different actions we could be taking, right? Like different parts of the brain in that sense. Like how do we approach this? There are only a few outcome possibilities. Like we know either I'll win, lose, or draw. If I choose one, we see the results immediately, and we know it has to be one of three outcomes. Like there's nothing new that's possible unless I choose gun, right?
True.
But that's kind of, but the thing is, think about it. Like when you're playing with a friend, eventually someone will choose something silly just to make you laugh,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because it's otherwise it's like, oh, there's nothing possible, nothing different happen. And I think like sort of that it's sort of novel in some sense, right?
Guess in elementary school, people would always just choose God.
God, God,
And then they'd say God beats gun. I'm sorry.
God, God, I'm sorry, dude. It's just the rules. It's just the rules. I swear. But
You also kind of like make the same decision all over and over, which
yeah.
like tires you out, and like you start just not really decide anymore. You just choose one randomly.
Yeah, that does happen where you're just like I've sort of done this so many times. I sort of like
Yeah, it's
I
like,
kind of
you're doing the same thing. It's like, is there really a point to make the choice again, or do I just do something random?
exactly. Well, there's not much to think about generally,
Yeah.
and include our calculation at that point, right? Where it's just like, okay, well, we did a couple things. I that's sort of what I get, unless I'm doing some like most of the time the interesting stuff comes from our interaction. Like if I like say I'm gonna choose rock, and I look at you, you know what I mean? Like that's the interesting part because you're already me then, right? I'm the information. Um, and so like it engages different parts of our brain, right? Anyways, and yeah, it feels the same every time, right? So at some point we're gonna get exhausted, and it's like, oh, there's, there was some tension on the comeback. You know how like we're like, oh yeah, let's go, yeah. So I think there's generally some level of story at some point, like someone was losing and then someone starts winning, or at some point. Um,
They were down on rock, paper, scissors, and then they remembered the friends they made along the way.
yeah,
Exactly.
with the power by allies. It's like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or something. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, imagine best of three when you come back. It's thrilling. Why don't we do this all the time? Anyways, so what might a game be from here? Like, it's a good question. Like, so we sort of like, all right. So now we have a pseudo game. If we play multiple times and we look at each other and we sort of like play a game. So like, there's a bunch of different types of games, right? Like, so I guess a rudimentary definition that may be more like that is a bit closer to maybe accurate, and you guys can poke holes in this all you want. I just sort of thought of this. Um, so what makes sense to me is this. So when a person or player has a meaningful goal, right? Like there's some reason to achieve that goal, right? Whether intrinsically or extrinsically, has to focus, right? So at some point, if you get exhausted and like you don't really care, like you have to like focus on which choice you're gonna do, otherwise you're gonna lose, right? And you have to and you can learn from your choices to succeed, right? Um, generally, like when we play again, we play multiple times, and like I have to watch you in order to win, right?
Mhm.
Generally, it's closer to a game. And then I guess the last action is that the actual action itself is fulfilling, right? It's fun. In this case, it's fun to mess with you because then you get to see your reaction, right? That's the fun part. That's the fulfilling part, right? And I think that's sort of what makes it a game, and that's why I want to play it because I think it's fun to beat you. I think it's fun to be. It's fun, you know what I mean? Like I think that's sort of what makes it a game. It's like it's an interactive experience. It's a whole start and end.
I think of this definition, as long as you can identify a specific meaningful goal applies to life as a whole.
Yeah. That's honestly what when I go into this, I'm just like, this is just life, isn't it? In its own weird way. But I think it's like reducing life to like saying like, oh, this is you're playing a game with me, sort of
Using
thing.
life to like you can experience things in life in a safe manner.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'm actually gonna get to that in a second. But it's sort of a safe way of playing, right?
That's a lot of side quests.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, generally, I mean, you go to class and you have to focus and you have to learn. Like, I mean, if you learn from your mistakes in the sense of, oh, the professor said something I didn't understand, right? You have to figure it out now. But I guess, but the fulfilling part is like, it's not really like fun intrinsically. It's more. I mean, unless you really like thinking. I like thinking, but I can find it fun at some level. Um, let's see. Anyways, um, but it's also not as fun as certain other activities. But there are also ways of finding it something fulfilling without having it being fun. Um, which is why I mean things like horror games exist, right?
Type 2 fun.
Type two fun, but you'll see what I mean. It's not just fun. Fun is a very I think like reducing games is just something that's fun is very limiting. And especially with some definition like this, like I think there's a lot of things you could do with it, and we've seen it used in a lot of different ways. Anyways, so it's more nuanced than that. Uh, I'd say you can make choices in your own mind, even if the media doesn't let you interact with it. So you can make a game from watching a TV show, right? Like, oh, will this character die? Or, right?
Oh yeah, every take a shot every time yada 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 happens.
Yeah, that works, right?
You can make like bingo cards for
Yeah,
like
bingo
video
cards.
game presentations.
Yeah.
A friend of mine made a bingo card for Silk Song right before it came out.
Ah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. But I think like the most simple example is just like, oh, it's like walking on a sidewalk and trying to avoid the cracks,
Mm.
right? Like the sidewalk isn't like,
That's not
is it
just
a
a game. That's mindset.
yes, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. A mindset of life. But like real, like there's something that you can look at, observe, and you can take an action within because it's life. You get to step over it, right? Like we have bodies, right? And it's interesting. I mean, there are other characters we control that have bodies, right? Like in Legend of Zelda, we control Link, right? There's a body that we're moving. Interesting. But like, oh, whoops, I almost missed this one. Oh wait, I overstepped it. Now I need to like shimmy a little bit and then step over this one. Okay. And then that section of head looks pretty bad. It's craggy. I know, right? Anyways, like it varies, like, depending on the section you're in, you could the game is in your mind. That's what I'm suggesting, I guess. Like so we're just presenting something to people, right? But personally I imagine lines from extending anything and just step over those. So like any straight line like this. Like I will try to step over there like and it's fun, but kind of weird. Side effects, side effects. It's all in your head. Anyways, I think I just duplicated the slide by accident. So why bother making games in the first place, right? Um, hopefully this has been fun so far, at least, maybe entertaining, at least.
Mhm.
Um, so why make games in the first place? I mean, you guys make games for your own reasons. Any reason you guys want to make your own games?
I think I've found fulfillment in playing games made by other people, so I'd like to share that experience with others in my own creation.
Yeah,
That's my big motivation.
absolutely. Sharing like what like this experience was fulfilling for you, so you want to share something with other people.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
There's also some fulfillment in seeing other people enjoy something that you created.
Yeah,
That's just
absolutely.
general artwork type fulfillment.
I played a lot of games in my life, and like there isn't one that like scratches like this itch in my brain. Like I want to make this game that like is gonna make me happy by playing it. I want to play my own game.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, just a lot of developers. Like, it's a lot of developers like making the complicated games. I just want something that I want to enjoy. Or like, I really scratches the tickles me. Um, but I guess like, why do people make games anyways? Like, why would a company make a game, right?
Money.
Money, yes. But why does it make the money? Because
People find it fun and want to buy it.
people buy it, and people want to play it, right?
People want to have fun.
Right, right. And I think why aren't we all on the grind set all the time? I guess that's the start of the question, right? Um, why aren't we working all the time, right?
Playing different games is a break from the game of life.
Yes, sure. Let's go with that. Sure. So I bear with me here. I'm just gonna like spiel for a second, okay? So I think this is interesting though. I think you guys will find this interesting. So I found like a fulfilling day for me overall. Like I found the days where I've gone to bed and felt like the best generally have been when I have produced something. There is something I care about, a long-term goal, and I make some progress towards it. Maybe making it part of my engine, or I don't know, not making the engine, but like you see the game, making progress in the game. Even just making a little bit of progress, just writing something down, like make feeling like okay, at least I'm getting somewhere, and I'll finish it at some point, right? That generally feels like okay, especially in terms of the game of life. Want to get a good job and everything. Um, I generally play something. I engage in activity with no purpose beyond just simply enjoying it. Which is like the rock paper scissors we just did. There's no reason to play rock paper scissors there.
No, not
No, and generally it's just like even this act of like presenting to you guys, there's no reason I had to do this. I just wanted to do this. That would be interesting. But the whole thing is that there has to be no purpose behind it, and I think that's interesting because gamification exists, right? Oh, there's some work. Oh, let's put in some game aspects into it, right? and it'll be fun. It'll be great. I want to play. But like part of the purpose of playing in the first place is just knowing that it doesn't have any effect beyond just affecting you, right? Like the game is the game, right? I'm not like earning anything from it. And like I think generally that could happen if you buy things in gacha games or whatever, right? Or you sort of spoil the fun of like progressing on your own. Or the feeling, right? Anyways, I generally rest at some point. Uh, I just relax I sit down on the couch or something. And generally there's some time where like I'm watching or do something just naturally, sort of like crocheting at that point. Like I think that's more, is that knitting or crocheting? Crocheting? Yeah, crocheting because is the one. But generally like you don't have to think about it too much because you've done it a long, right? That's the general idea of rest where it's like your body's still working, but your mind is thinking about other things, right? But anyways, and then generally at some level to connect, where you engage in an activity where you feel like, okay, we're all human, we all sort of experience this, and we feel connected. And I guess like the exact opposite would be if you're on the moon and there's no one to play with, right? And you feel like you're the only one there alone, right? You wouldn't you even if you were fine and you are in a perfect space capsule, you would still feel like alone.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my fork from the trash.
Yeah, because I think he dropped this thingy, and then he threw it away, I guess, because he
Why
ripped.
doesn't he just go up to the Starbucks?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Anyways, I relate to this because I think this is how a lot of people sort of act, and I'll sort of give you an example here. So in terms of just connecting, even just talking to somebody can help a lot. You know, like if you're in your room all day, not really doing anything, you'll sort of feel isolated from other people. You know, and you go outside, you're like, oh wait, there's other people just like me. Whoa.
Mhm.
Right. Anyways, so I think there are games that cater to each one of these, which I think is interesting. So some people, what's up?
Go to the restroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to pause or?
Good.
Okay, sounds good. So I think there are games that cater to feeling productive. I mean, the most classic case is just collectible, right? So like, have you ever seen someone addicted to gacha games and they play it every day, routinely, and um, they try to collect everything. They try to make sure they have enough resources. They get everything they can for that day, their dailies, right? And then they get their characters eventually, and they hope they get it, right? And part of that, I think, is feeling productive. You feel like, okay, I'm sort of building up my account, right? I feel like I'm making progress every day by doing my dailies, right? And it's a different way of approaching it. It's almost like not play anymore because they're not like, actively having fun with it. They're just sort of doing it, right?
That's like a game where you're building something. Like, I mean, if you're working on a big build project in Minecraft, for example.
Yeah. Or you already did a lot of the fun stuff. Now you just gotta build it, right? And like sometimes you can zone out, sort of like go into flow, you just get it done, right? Um, and I'm sorry for being so like ambiguous here. I'm kind of just talking with you guys. I could define things more precisely if you prefer, but it's okay. Anyways, there are some like I think Pokemon is a fun one too, just collectibles. Anyways, regarding just play, I think something like checkers, where like it's not chess, right? Like chess is generally kind of intensive. It requires a lot of mental power, but sometimes there's like the greater goal of like, oh, I want to feel better than you. I want to, you know what I mean? But I think something like checkers is like more lighter in some sense, where you have to make interesting choices, right? But if you lose, it's like whatever. Like I'll just play again. And like I think roguelikes kind of fall into this sort of too, right? Where like you lose, you're like, okay, I learned something. This is interesting. I made some decisions. Now we're here, right? Uh, I think there are some other games that like, can help you rest. I think idle games like Cookie Clicker, um, or other things where like you sort of just do it. Part of that is productivity, but also part of it is just like I'm not like it's not. I think some people playing gacha games they have to do a lot of actual activity to get the dailies every day. While something idle is just more like click a couple things, you already know what's going on. And finally, if you play with your friends, I think. Oh, you good? You good? You got it.
Not from the trash. I went to the Starbucks.
Good. Smart.
Did you go to the trash?
So
Smart.
on the way here, I had this kava bag, and it was leaking, and the thing just fell through the bag, and I lost my fork as well. So that's why I put it in the trash can. But
Smart.
oh my god,
Smart. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to mention these because I think there are a lot of different games that because we just assume people play games for fun. Like, um, and if you wanna, I think probably missed both parts of that. It's fine. Um, but I think we assume a lot of people just play games for fun, especially like, oh, this is a cool idea. Let's just try it, make it, see what happens, see if people enjoy it, right? But the people play games for a lot of different reasons. And like, if you want to like make a game that sort of pop like hits with people, like generally you could there's different avenues. It's not just make fun game, right? Uh, and I mean, part of it is always having that goal and some sort of choice, right? But how much is that really? Uh, but just as a quick review, Pokemon collecting things, Pokemon cards, gotcha games. You can feel productive. People do it every day, but they don't really enjoy it necessarily. Um, and you could play with some things like games. Some games are super stressful, but they could be
Mm.
forgiving, right? Like checkers or something like what's this called? Oh, this is a good game. Anyways, there's some games where you could rest with idle games where they're not super intensive. You could just kind of rest your mind, just do a couple things. You already know what's going on, habitual, and then you can play with your friends like League of Legends or Valorant or something. Uh, these sort of ideas. There's different sort of games that sort of cater to different ideas, right? We're like, oh, well, I'm playing with friends. Let's group up. Let's go, right? Let's go. Anyways, so here's where here's where it gets like very like brushy because you guys already probably know all this stuff. I just wasn't sure. So, and if you guys want to pitch in with your experience, I just wrote like off the top of my head. So, so what could be used to make a game? Anything is a game, right? We mentioned this before. Sidewalk is a game, but we're mentioning video games, right? That's the sort of the idea. So anything can be a game as long as can make some choices, series of interesting choices, we'll say. Um, and for D&D, you're literally just talking to each other. Um, you have some sort of rule sheet. Oh, you have this character. Oh, you're doing this. But like, we could just you're an elf. You're going to this land, and you could like, oh, when you come to this, what do you do, right? And you're like, okay, I guess I could do this. But you assume that you assume that it's a logical world. And the classic thing for D&D is just rocks fall on you, you die. That's it, right? Like, but like you assume that there's some sort of system going on, right? And generally that's why games go into actual video game systems, right? Where like um you have an action that has a set result, or like you could predict the result, right? It's repeating, uh constant. Anyways, to make a video game, you could literally just write a program. Uh, I'm fast forwarding through this because it seems like you guys are kind of checking out a little bit. So yeah, you literally write a program.
Don't mind me, I'm always like this.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I just want to we're just fast forwarding. You can write a program, you can make your own engine. Um, yeah, you essentially have to make your own thing. So generally, if you're making a game engine, it takes a lot of time. You can probably see. So you're probably not gonna be making too many games just because it's using most of the time on that. But then when you finish it, you probably will make a lot of games. So
Hard to say. There's a panel in a different Discord. They have a description that says if you teach someone how to make a game engine, they will never make a game.
This sort of the thrill of the hunt going on here. Like just oh, this is a hard thing, let's do it, right?
Guide others to a treasure you cannot.
What's that?
Guide others to a treasure you cannot possess.
Yes, yes. That's great. All right. You could also modify an existing video game. A lot of games come from mods. Like yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna say I don't actually have anything here to show it off, but I make Doom mods.
Yes, yes.
I think I showed it off in the channel at some point
Yeah.
a long ass time ago.
Mhm.
When I get here next time, I'll show it off if you.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. If you guys want to share anything, present anything, because this is just gonna be like a chill space. I thought this would just be a good introduction. Like sort of getting everyone like, oh, this is an interesting thought. Um,
I was a Terraria modder for 7 years.
ooh,
So, also a
damn,
bit of Minecraft mod along the way.
damn,
Very-
yeah.
I think I first started playing for 6 years ago.
How old are you?
I was 7 years ago. I'm 7.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You're a minor, bro. You're a legal minor.
Illegal minor, yes.
Dang, I can't bring alcohol next time. That sucks.
Oh, it's okay. But yeah, modifying existing games it's pretty good actually because there's a community, so people see it and they
Oh my god.
actually want to play
It's
it.
also like an existing rule set, existing world.
Yeah, there's an existing rule set.
It's like making like a Minecraft map or like Minecraft game, like a game
Yeah.
inside Minecraft.
Yeah, you could really focus on the content and like trying to figure out what makes the best content. And then because what ends up happening is that when you try to make a game, you're figuring out about the system in the content.
Yeah, like
And then you're just like, wait, this relies on this, or this relies on this. Then
worrying
you
about
back yourself in loops.
non-game thing, but like trying to like make the character move the right way, make
Yeah.
it move, like feel good, like it's not. It's important to a game, but like, is it part of the game content?
Hmm.
That's the other question.
Yeah.
Also, is it relatable? If you see someone play a Minecraft map, are you more inclined to play it because it's Minecraft, or is it because it's just interesting stuff?
Yeah. Well, I found like a lot of times mods can feel like, oh, we already know what can happen, what's possible because we played the original game or something, right? So like generally mods like to explore different areas and different spaces. So they try to get really wacky, which is why they get funny. But you know, you can just make a really good, like solid normal mod, and most people will actually like that because most mods are so weird, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, this is honestly, I just say this because like if you generally have a game that can be modded, it may actually be worthwhile to get into the modding community because you get seen a lot more. I just know that like uploading your own games, you need a lot of, or like it's hard to get people to get eyes on it.
Started.
Yeah, it's hard to get eyes on your game, and generally you do that. You do like game jams and stuff, like or devlogs, right? And like try to build a community in some other way, right? Uh, but yeah, here's the sort of final one, which is you could use a premium game engine, right? And players can download your game, interact with it. Cool. The side effect, they often take a cut of revenue, as we mentioned before the video. This is Godot, yes, exactly. Which is awesome. But if they are taking a cut, actually use the tools. You know, don't like it's as a programmer, it's fun to make your own tools. I really like making my own tools, but it's also extra time that you could be using to make the game, and they already made it for you if you pay it. So we'll see. Anyways, I just listed them all. I just listed a bunch here, and you guys listed even more, like the Love engine that was used for the
Blotcha.
for Blotro. Yeah, so I just that's good to know. Like I didn't know, but I was just sort of like listing out random things. So yeah, Godot, open source. I found like I've seen people say that 3D was hard. Would you guys agree? The 3D is kind of weird.
It's harder than 2D, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's just not as much support for the 30 in Godot, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Co-
yeah. Godot's mainly like shot for 2D. If you want to do like anything fancy in 3D, Godot becomes a real nightmare. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that might be why a lot of them are like stylistic, like the PS1
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
graphics, which is like cool.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to make like I don't
And
know.
sadly, like Godot's 3D performance is not that good. Like, I
Right.
mean, it's good, but like if you're doing like heavier stuff, it's like
Mm.
it's not there.
Yeah, you
Like,
just have
really
another
3D.
axis that applies everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see it being pretty good in the future because I think they're working pretty hard towards it. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, right now it's nothing compared to like Unreal, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Unreal, which is the premier 3D engine. Has lots of optimizations and pre-made tools just to make the game.
Also, one issue
Not
about
worrying
like
about it.
pre-made engines that you typically start making a Unreal game rather than a game
Mhm.
because like you'll have your game looks like Unreal, it plays like Unreal, and it's because it's Unreal.
It's Unreal, exactly. Yeah.
Asset flips. Asset flips.
Yeah. But there are a lot of games that fall into that. You'll know when you play an Unreal game, you'll know right away. It's very obvious
Because
because
like the RPG Maker games, I feel like you can tell like
No,
instantly. A lot
instantly.
of the time.
Yes, exactly. I think a lot of stuff is like baked in, you know. A lot of the lighting and visual tricks are very similar.
Unity is very versatile, especially for 3D. You can make all sorts of like weird art styles and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to say Unity is a robust engine for any interactive experience, and then it's also used for games. I guess a good way of putting it, because it's just there's so many ways of doing random stuff.
Unity is
but you-
kind of like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
It doesn't really provide you that much.
Mhm. Unity does not provide you that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It provides you with a lot, but also not that much.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
like
like-
Unreal was like you kind of already have a game.
Mhm.
Rather like a very like beginning of one.
Mhm.
You mentioned that you look at an Unreal Engine game and know it's an Unreal game. So I was like, I just thought it was a particularly 3D game that is really stylistically shaded, like uses cell shading and a bunch of like comic book style
What game is this?
effects, Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, Hyperion is
Like
great.
it's got really stylistic graphics, and I just looked up what engine it uses, and it's Unreal. I never would have
Yeah.
guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really impressive when you play it. See, I could not tell, but it's really good. Um, but yeah, Unity there's so many ways to do one thing. I think like Godot is much more streamlined for that. It's like there's only one way to really do each thing, which is awesome. But Unity, if you want to learn to like have fun messing around with code, that's kind of a good start. But it's a mess. It's a mess. Unity is a mess, and so I think there's a lot more tutorials and stuff on it, but like they're not as helpful because there's each person does something slightly differently, and it's like, wait, hold up, which one's actually right? So sometimes people are just like, just teach me, right? Just freaking teach me. Anyways, yeah, Game Maker. It seems like a lower barrier to entry, but I've seen people use it. I haven't used it myself. Has anyone used it?
The only game I know that's done is Undertale and Deltarune. That's like the only ones.
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, I think I said Hyperlight Drifter earlier for Love to Do. I think that one actually is Game Maker.
Game
I think I
Maker?
was mistaken.
Okay.
Let me double check.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game Maker's like a couple games.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Let me see.
Levelhead?
Levelhead.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, it uses
The little block guys, right?
Hmm?
Oh no, maybe not. We'll see.
It's a platformer, 2D platformer maker game. You play as a robot that's trying to deliver a pack.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Hyperlight Drifter with Game Maker.
It's Game Maker, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Maker, solid. I think like the main thing is that I don't I haven't really touched Unreal, so I can't really talk about it with you guys. I could bring somebody in, maybe. I could try to get someone from like Faya or something. But like, I don't know. Any ideas? Because I'd love to be like, oh yeah, Unreal. But I think there's a couple of good videos from Michael a long time ago, or
Yeah.
a previous president a long time ago, where he goes over a lot of Unreal stuff. But it also feels like there's still a lot more, like there's a lot more after that point. It's like it's kind of hard. Um, I could go over Unity stuff, but it seems like you guys are interested in Godot stuff.
We do have like two like Unreal Engine users in our server, like Terry and Andrew, right?
That's true. Terry and Andrew have used it, yeah. To their own success, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Terry has been using it for years. Probably maybe even more than Michael, I don't know.
I don't think when he started using that he had the programming background though, right?
No, like Terry doesn't strike me as a programmer, but he's pretty capable as a programmer.
Mhm.
So pretty impressive what he does.
He's very much like everywhere. He's kind of neat.
Like, I see him like in the show off channel, like working on Pico 8 stuff now.
Yes. The Pico 8 stuff's really cool. I
Yeah.
think it's sick.
I'd like to check Pico out one day. It
Mhm.
looks fun.
Mhm.
Like mini game dev.
But yeah, Terry and Andrew, they're always posting, yeah, honestly, they're pretty nice people, so feel free to reach out if you have questions, honestly. Um, there's also Pygame. I've seen Pygame used for like 2D games. It's nice and simple, like easy, like if you already know Python and everything, you just slap something together. Um, there's also Roblox, I just want to mention. It's an engine, but I've seen people use it to really good success
I've seen a game jam game like made at DevLUp here.
in Roblox.
Roblox.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it's honestly really possible. Like it's one of like I said, there's a lot of people who are looking for random games out there on Roblox. You know what I mean? It's more likely they'll find it on Roblox than on itch.io. You know what I mean?
True.
And then they also
Way
pay a
more
good.
willing to play a game on Roblox than on itch.io.
Yes, way more willing to play a game on Roblox, and they also pay a lot more. They also pay a lot. It's
Does
actually
it pay like anything?
you can I think you
Price
They have
you can choose a price.
There's like there's obviously the option to put it for free, but then there's an option to have like choose how much to donate.
You can
to
donate
this game.
things, yeah.
And then there's also the mandatory price, like you actually.
Yes.
I get you. That's cool.
Exactly.
Like it's just like it's so much. If you want to get money, it's so much worse than Steam. Like
Yeah.
there's so many less eyes will see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if anyone really like goes there specifically.
I don't really
to
browse
things.
it.
I've done it before, but this you can play like 2 or 3 games at most, and then like to buy one is like it's a lot. It's a big investment compared to someone like Steam,
Right.
right? Yeah, it's called. And what does being a game creator mean? In this case, we're just going over what disciplines you guys are probably familiar with. Yeah, there's a game design. This is the Chris Wilson video, I think. This is pretty much
Yeah,
it.
I shared a video where Chris Wilson, the creator of like Path of Exile, kind of goes over the different like roles in the game industry.
Yeah.
Game design is one.
Mhm.
And like one key distinction here is like you're not the ideas person, you're the one that makes the ideas work.
Mhm. Exactly. So like generally in the industry, like there's already an idea and they've already been working on it, right? You're entering and you're are I mean you're optimizing a player experience, right? Like you're literally how do I make this particular thing better, right, for the player? And which is kind of interesting. It's under some constraints, you know. It's like a very local optimization in that sense, right? Like you can't really improve the whole entire game. You just improve a little section.
Depends on where you're going.
Mhm. But yeah, game design it's an interesting discipline. There's oh I forget the one. It's okay. There's art, creating visual parts, artists, animators, visual effects. People always need artists. Artists are used everywhere. Programming, make the game work repeatably, reliably, efficiently. You know, optimize like at some level. So you're not chugging. You're not chugging a month after month. Anyways, um. But yeah, gameplay, you could make tools for people to to make their games with. Um, there's back-end graphics. So if you want to get into that, this is a broad overview. I'm just throwing things out here. I'm throwing words out here. So if you guys have any particular interests, um, just overall. There's production, where you're trying to make team work together and get it done. I mentioned production particularly because I remember talking to Gator VR people, and they try to do like they try to work on projects, their VR projects, right? And it's just really helpful to have like an actual person making sure everyone gets their tasks done in like in certain orders to make sure that the game actually gets made. Because with a lot of people, it gets very scattered very fast. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
yeah, and you'll generally see this in game jams too. Like it gets a bit scattered. Even with four people, it's like
Yeah.
a
That's why
lot.
I like usually like recommend people to like have like a vision person, like someone who owns a vision during a game jam. That way, like you can just ask one person for a decision to like make a decision on a something rather than like, all right, should I add a new enemy? Team meeting.
Team meeting,
That's
yes.
Exactly. I think that's why a lot of
So,
indie studios are either one person or like very few, like three or four.
Yeah, a
I
couple
think it's
people
because like
have made decisions.
maintaining a vision is really hard with a lot of people.
It's really hard, yeah. But as William said, like it's in a game jam or in a small environment. There's a lot of times a person with an actual vision, like a very distinct vision that on its own can be really compelling. Like combining with other people's visions can make it more compelling. But as we've seen before, making something combining everyone's vision makes a mess, right? I just like
it becomes too generic. Like you're trying to do everything, and now like your game's not special anymore because it's like it has everything every other game has.
right. It's exactly like, oh, let's add this, and then it's like, wait, why are we making this in the first place? Anyways.
Those guys in those videos online where they have like 10 game developers where one person starts a game and then they go
Yeah, each person starts.
to the next person
Yes.
for an hour.
Blackthorn, they're called.
Yeah, Black and Proud.
Backdoor fraud, yes. Oh, he's a classic. How did they end up?
They've done a lot of them.
Yeah,
There's some
they-
really weird things. Like one where you, I think, fly around the city with putting out fires from a helicopter or something. I don't remember
They
exactly.
definitely cheat on those.
Hey.
There's no way they don't cheat on them, like the people that pass it on. They definitely don't have the exact time limit.
uh,
Videos. But it's still cool videos.
QA making sure a game meets the specification of what's designed to do. In an industry, you know, literally often a sheet, like someone actually tells you what it should do, right? But even like on your own, when you're trying to make sure your game works as intended, you sort of want to know what it should do. It's probably important. But yeah, reproducing issues, feedback, tests.
Like debugging is also something like, while like Q, I don't know how Q actually really works in the industry, but like during like just solo development, like debugging and knowing how to like find and document issues and reliably like fix them is also really nice skill to have.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just staring at the air for like I don't know a day.
Yeah.
Which is also a problem with like new beginner programmers. It's really demotivating is looking at an error message for the whole day. Like I've tried everything.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a pro for making your own game engine that I feel like it's easier to diagnose issues because
you
it's
can
stuff
tell
that
it.
you made.
You know exactly
And
what
like
what
if
it
you're
should
working
do.
with like a game engine like Godot or something like that,
Like,
and
please
you're having an
explain it
issue,
too.
yeah, if you're having an issue with something that's like built in,
Yeah.
it's really hard to like figure that out
Yeah.
because you didn't make it.
Yeah.
And that's like a small issue that I've dealt with recently, like with Godot, how like collisions work. If a collision like turns on while you're inside of a body, then how do you know how it's going to react? You didn't program it.
Yeah, Unity has
Right.
the same issue.
Yeah. I think it's just like a game engine thing in general, which I love game engines, but that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's something that everyone should be like aware of.
That's a sort of problem that like we dealt with at I did software for my high school's robotics team and
Oh.
we reinvented a lot of wheels, but it was nice because we
Literally.
knew exactly how things would react and respond when
Yeah.
we do certain edge cases and whatever, like you said.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
We could make modifications to fit our exact purposes.
Mm.
And often like the programmers will have like layers and layers and layers of fun stuff, So only God and they know it going on. But I guess regarding Q&A is interesting. I've seen a lot of QA's teams work directly with programmers. Like they identify the problem, they know who can fix it, sort of thing. So generally they're combined teams. Um, but yeah. But audio, creating auditory parts, music, sound effects, anything you could sort of perceive. But uh there's a lot of skill to this, right? You got to create the music if you want to. You can mix them, mix between different events and different choices, different timings, different integration, like integrating it into the engine, like making sure that works. Uh, and audio is a huge deal, a huge deal,
Yeah.
like a huge deal. Like it will straight up like
Provides like half the experience.
yeah, it really provides half the experience. Like
Yeah.
it's incredible. Like if you have a mediocre game and you put
Like a
some good
movie
music
is like,
over it.
experience and audio is half of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, literally, I think it's so like ingrained too in the actual game design because it has to be like situationally relevant and like not
It enhances everything.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Exactly. I mean, it really is harmonic in a sense where like you're doing something, you're watching something happen, you're also hearing it happen, but you're also hearing them combined. Like they like as a whole, it's like 1 + 1 is equal to 3. It's greater than the sum of its parts, right? Like but yeah,
Makes the whole experience feel actually like more real.
yeah,
More tangible.
more tangible.
And
It's
immersive, I think too.
immersive, yeah, for sure. We could get into immersion later.
All of the music I listen to is video game soundtracks.
What's that?
Almost all the music
Yeah.
I listen to is video
I
game.
don't
Yeah, same.
like a lot of games I play, like I hear the soundtrack first and then I play the game.
I was
That's a
like
good way.
Persona.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah.
like, damn, this slaps. I'm gonna play this game.
Because,
Honestly, it is good for
Because,
like.
a lot of times like audio is like a afterthought. So like if audio, which is usually an afterthought, if that part is good, they must have put a lot more effort
Into the
the
game.
rest of the game as well.
That's
Mhm.
true.
I think that's a big plus for Undertale too, because I feel like Undertale like inherently is a very emotional game, and music plays towards emotions like really strong.
Mhm.
And so the fact that he has songs that make you feel things when you're supposed to feel things, I don't know,
Yeah.
it really sells it.
I think someone mentioned it. It's like emotional cheating.
Yeah.
It's like oh, this should be sad, so let's play sad music.
Yeah. It like pushes you in that direction.
It really does. It really does.
The emotional, I mean, the music at Undertale is like insane as well. Like,
I
if you
know.
look at like videos like the breakdowns of the motifs he has, like he reuse one to like after two enemies are related, they like resample them, like slow them down, like integrate it. It's insane what he does.
Yeah, no.
But-
And I think it's really interesting because it gets into psychology because it's like the Pavlov effect, where if you hear like a motif at one point and then you hear it like again later on, your emotion already starts up because you like remember those feelings
Mhm.
and it kind of like it connects to those experiences. So it's really interesting.
Right. It really does have to do with how we learn things. Uh, I think the whole idea of a motif is that we're able to recognize it, right?
Mhm.
The fact that we can recognize it and understand it, we can determine how it changes.
Mhm.
Like that means that we can associate other events and feelings with it, right? And the idea is that if you have a game soundtrack that's so generic that you can't recognize any of it, you'll never like make any associations.
Right.
So like it's just interesting. That's the entire point of like a motif in the first place, which is interesting. Anyways, marketing. Know how players will perceive your game and will want to buy it, right? And I think this is something that he didn't really mention, but it's kind of important for indie games. Like knowing how to outreach and like making logs and advertising it, and it's really important. Like yeah, I think like Code Monkey has a couple marketing videos that are really good.
Have you
But
seen Chris Zukowski?
Chris, no, I've
Uh,
yeah.
He's
I've
like
seen-
the goat for Steam marketing stuff.
Oh,
He studies
yes, yeah.
algorithms and stuff, so it's helpful.
Yes, yeah. I think that's what I think Code Monkey talked to Chris. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so.
yeah. It's really good, but it's actually really interesting how like you don't. It's actually pretty doable to make a success. Like, it's actually kind of amazing if you look at it. You just gotta know how to do it, and
Yeah.
that's hard.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting too because one of his main points is it's not like being super social and talking to everyone about your game. It's a lot more like strategic.
Yeah.
So it's something that you have to like plan and think about.
hmm
It's interesting.
hmm So I could look into that if you guys would like.
Also going back to the previous
Yeah,
slide,
go for it.
being a game creator sometimes means being all of these.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Um, and I think just knowing all of it is kind of useful at some level.
Because like if you're working on a company, you'll like probably be only focusing on one, like you'll be interacting with everyone. If you're a solo developer, then you're kind of forced to. And that's also why like game development is like so hard. It's like you have to get everything done right. If you don't do
Right.
one of these, you lose a big chunk of what a game is,
Yeah.
what a game could be.
And as we all know, that means scope goes way down. Way down. So briefly, just as a off the cuff, what would it be? If you as a hobbyist, generally you want to have if you have a game you want to make, it's generally going to be too big, right? Like off the cuff. So I've seen people with some success trying to break it down into smaller games and building systems for that and building up from there. And you honestly see it with a bunch of companies too. You know, you see a bunch of people a bunch like Nintendo using a bunch of the same systems they made before or like very similar. And because they already know how they work, so they just add a couple things to it, right? Um, and so if you can learn how to do that, very useful. It's one of those things where like I wish I practiced that when I started because I feel like I just made a bunch of random things which are useful, but it's different. Um, and generally, I would say if you really wanted to, you guys have all sort of started at some level, but honestly, I think just like going to a full tutorial of every single part of an engine just to get familiar with different parts, like you sort of know that where like you just watch it, you start from the finish. I want to just know what's like how to do everything, like what does the engine let me do, right? And I think that's sort of useful. So if you have any additions, um, but I typically recommend like a lecture, listen to what they're saying, and then copy.
Also,
Like,
speaking of like creating sub games, I find like game jams is like really helpful with this because like you have a game jam theme which forces you to like learn something new, but like you can also go into the game jam with like your own kind of like I want to try lighting out like 2D lighting, which is actually something I tried a lot in like a lot of my game jams, and sometimes I do like sound. How do I make the sound look good? And how do I make pathfinding? How do I write like AI? Like these are all like things that are part of like it could be like all part of the same game, but you can break these out into like separate games during separate game jams. So you just focus on one part every single game jam, and that makes it really easy and approachable.
For sure. I think it's good for like motivation too, because it actually gets you
yeah,
grinding for those 3 days.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's things we sort of already know. Where like, yes, you can make a game and you could use some of the logic.
And then you
That's
can like
useful.
spend like another week after the game jam just like polishing it up, making sure you know like the principles, like you got applied to the next project.
Mhm.
That way you keep what you learned and can apply it again.
Yeah, it's just almost done, by the way. I swear. If a professional, do what a hobbyist would do, but determine what the company and what role that you want to be in, and sort of cater towards that. Ideally, you know, you want to build a portfolio where they see that, wow, this is amazing stuff you've done. You're like the perfect one for this job, right? So, yeah, I'm skimming over these because you know. Anyways, overall, it's worth learning a bit of everything. Like because even if you're interested in game dev, you're probably interested in some level hobbyist, like just because you want to make your own things. So worth learning a bit of everything. Bulk tutorials is useful as a start. And if you're looking for professional work, you probably want to learn the engines. Just or being familiar with how they work and how they differ from each other is really useful. Uh, and I mentioned this because I don't know too much Unreal, and I probably should. So I'm just like, if you can do like, I would recommend personally. Um, and then overall, just I just wanted to mention this in case you guys don't know. There is a UCF Master's program via which a lot of people from digital worlds tend to go into, which is kind of neat. And they have special they really specialize in trying to make sure they get you a job in the game industry if you're already interested in that. I think most of us are hobbyists, but if you are already super interested in that, it's a possibility. Um, and you have a digital arts program and everything if you want to do some of that. Um, Different. And I would also say that if you are interested in the game industry and that I know a lot of game devs are trained in like Unreal, particularly because a lot of companies like to use that. And sometimes it can be suited for other types of work, typically simulations. And people who like simulations generally military. So just be aware that if there's a lot of skills that are transferable in other ways. If you there's sometimes you can use Unreal for like movie production too, which is really neat. So these are all pretty interesting life skills, like just knowing how to do it. So in terms of motivation, learn cool stuff, right? Anyways, that's it. I was sort of skimming over everything. If you want to give feedback, if it was too long, it was probably too long. But if you like this sort of topic, or if you want a different sort of topic, more like practical, I thought this would be a fun discussion. But yeah, if you guys any thoughts, that's pretty much it. So
Nice.
yeah. Any thoughts, opinions, hopes, and dreams?
I think the what is the game second presentation is really
Yeah, it was interesting. It's like the theory of that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it opened up a lot of discussion, which I think is something that makes it more engaging just inherently.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
very.
a game.
Game inside of a game inside of a game. It's all recursive shit. But I find that sort of side pretty interesting. I find it a bit harder with I can program and stuff, but I tend not to be like my immediate like
Oh yeah, I should
best
probably
skill.
mention, DevLUp FSU is hosting the
Good.
DevLUp Game Jam this semester.
Yes.
It's about like I think October 24th to the 26th, whichever one is the Friday to Sunday.
Yeah, I could look that up real quick. But yeah, we are gonna be hosting a game jam with FSU, and so it's kind of fun. We get to compete a little bit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What do you call it, the develop board games? But I don't think that's its theme this semester.
No, it's develop flowers and happiness.
Are you all computer science majors or?
I'm computer science.
Computer science.
Yeah.
Everyone is besides you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm computer science. I've been doing some more math stuff recently though. So I like some of the thought trains, just random stuff.
Do any of you guys like intend on going into like industry for game development?
Oh,
I
no.
Nice. Oh, like you are or you're intending to?
I'm intending to.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I plan
Yeah.
on it.
That's really cool.
Honestly, I don't know. I might just get like a general computer science job and then just do like video games as a hobby.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm not
I
sure.
might have some. Sorry to interrupt you.
Or-
I might have some insight on this. I did an internship recently, and they were having a new like game branch working up. And I talked with like a lot of explosive veterans, like 10+ years there, and they all said the same things. Were like, do not go into the games industry. Like, stay away from it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Like, how horrible it is working there. The work hours are long. The pay is not great compared to other positions. And like, they want to be building their own visions. And like, you don't have much say in all these games companies, especially at Blizzard, where like they kind of just tell you what to do and to listen to them. And they also the same thing, like just get any like general computer science job and do a video game on your own time.
Mhm.
Like, don't go into professionally.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, with the exceptions being like small teams with like dedicated visions,
Yeah.
team chairs.
But the chance of you being on there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The thing about those is I feel like it's not something you can really apply for. It's kind of like a group, like connections that you already have, and
Yeah.
then you come up with an idea together and you decide to work together.
And even the chance of that being a success as well. Because
Right.
for every Hollow Knight, you have like a billion other venture winners that fail miserably.
Yeah. Which is why game design is so important, guys.
Yeah.
It really fucking is important.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if you want a good game, you gotta
I'm
think of
a
game design.
controversial post on the game dev subreddit recently. I got like downloaded to oblivion with a ton of comments. And I basically said that like all game devs should be gamers themselves. Like I think everyone who makes games should be active playing video games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
I completely agree.
I think there's
Make a video game, you know.
I think there's so many developers, indie devs as well, who don't play video games themselves. So they did a long time ago and they stopped, especially these AAA studios.
Yes.
And like
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
it's like they add mechanics and things to the game that like they think will be fun, but like they don't actually want to play it themselves. Like what's like that point at that point? You know,
Yeah.
like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Well, perceived value to other people.
If you don't get
Mhm.
distracted from making your game by playing your game,
Yes.
then
Yeah.
maybe you should make your game different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Generally,
went to like a retro game store once, and I was so turned off by the fact that the guy who owned it was saying, "Oh, I actually don't even like video games. I don't play them at all. He just likes like buying them and
Oh, I
flipping them."
see.
And I was like, it's like so lame. Like I don't know. It'd be fun to talk about what's your favorite game and
Why
stuff.
would you say that?
Good question. Good question.
Exactly. I thought that too. I'm like, even if that's true, you shouldn't be telling me that.
Right.
And now I kind of just want to leave.
Buzzkill. Total buzzkill.
I know.
Like the Mario, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, like the original Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
The last game.
There was one with it's a guy in a spacesuit and he had like a gun arm. His name was Metroid, I think.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Figured it out.
But especially like the separate, you'll see a ton of like people. I'll just data as a fucking horror story, man. If you ever go there, you'll see a ton of people like, I spent 2 years on my game and I made $2 total. And like the more you investigate into it, it's like these people clearly like they're not gamers themselves. They don't understand video games and they just like make stuff to either like A, make money, or B, because they think other people will like it without liking themselves.
Mhm.
And I feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm a big hater of AAA game studios. I have a lot of controversial opinions on this.
No, I
got
kind
you.
of
It's really not
We got you.
controversial.
Yeah.
Everyone else
Yeah.
is just a bitch.
Especially nowadays.
But
Like,
it
it's
can be
rare
fun to
to
work
get
on
it.
it. So don't, like, if you really want to do it, you can. Feel free.
For
Like,
sure.
it's like probably long hours and specific work, but if you know what work you're getting into, then like maybe that should be fun.
Yeah. And if you love working for him, then
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's good.
I
Some people,
Yeah.
and more power to them. I would. Right.
I think
more power
I
to
think the hardest part with it though, I think from what I understand is that if you make a game while at the studio separately, I think they could try to take rights to it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you have to
Which is the hard
present
part.
paperwork when you join a company. Even at most tech jobs, just like basically say like I have these projects and you don't own these no matter what. It's part of your job. Otherwise, it's like take it from you.
Wow.
Oof.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Even if you're only working on your
Real
free time.
fights.
That's even their own free time. They can make things done to you for it. That's why at the very start you have to either sign paperwork or let them know in advance.
Yeah.
and if you guys aren't on Discord, join Discord. I mean, how else would you find us? It's like real. I haven't been up. I don't have Instagram. I deleted Instagram, so I've been freed. But yeah, we should be good. I'm gonna close my computer
I
now.
wonder if I was working out. Like what?
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's why.
That'll be funny. Is everyone here like working?